Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on the YouTube. Dave here in the garage, Area 51, as usual. Well, for now anyways. But yeah, so this week we're going to have a look at installing the back glass. I have not done a windshield install like this before, so bear with me and we'll see how it goes. Another dead battery. Okay, so a few months back I pulled out the back glass out of storage and discovered it had a heap of like scratches and stuff from like snow ice scrapers and shit like that. Obviously this came from a snowy state in America. I'm not actually 100% sure where it came from actually, but it doesn't matter at this point. And yeah, we kind of like got into some cerium oxide and had a go at sort of cutting and polishing out that windscreen there, the glass. Okay, got a full battery this time. Battery done, died. So got them up on charge. And yeah, so we had a go at cutting and polishing, like sanding, wet sanding, and using cerium oxide on my various different tools. It took a long time to get it to where it is now. And it's okay. There's still a few light scratches and that in there. It's a little on the hazy side, not hard out hazy. It should be all right. But I just spent the last kind of hour and a half or so on the buff again, using a couple of different compounds to try and sort of bring some of that hazing out of it. And I think I did to a degree. I think maybe. I'm not 100% sure whether I made any difference today or not, but it's where I'm going to leave it. But yeah, I want to have a crack at putting the windshield in the hole, and I've got a new rubber here. I think it's a steel rubber products, and I spent a bit of time this morning trying to figure out how it worked, and I think I have. So I think I know, you know, the glass goes into that little thing there, the stainless trim's got to go in there, and by all accounts it's a really difficult process to get it all in together and whatnot, with the trim in it. I have seen some stuff where you can get rubbers that don't have the stainless that go inside the trim, and apparently they're a lot easier to put in. But yeah, so we're gonna have a crack at getting this rubber on the windshield first, and then we'll do the kind of string method. I'm not going to use any mastics or anything at this point. I don't know, like some people put like mastics and stuff in as they're installing it, but I watched a glass guy I know down where I used to live put the glass back in my Plymouth, and he did it a little different. So he kind of put it in, not dry, I think he used maybe some kind of lubricant to sort of help with the process, but it was after they kind of came in with their caulking guns and used like a non-drying sort of mastic, not like silicone. This is a kind of other stuff, to kind of get in around the glass and round the lip sort of thing. So I'll probably try that and see how it goes. But yeah, so let's get this rubber from there onto there, hopefully. Right, is there a join? This thing, that's it there, I think. I'm trying to get the join. Actually, something I've got to do before I even start this is I want to hold the glass up to put the glass in the hole. Just want to see how it lands in the hole without the rubber on it, and that'll help me figure out something I need to figure out for the front. So we'll quickly do that. Okay, so I bought a couple of these things. I don't know if they're going to help me or hinder me. Okay, they might help actually. That's good. These are just like little glass kind of sucker things. Well, I give you the willies though. We'll go and see how it fits in this thing. Okay, so the glass has a bit of an overlap. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is this kind of size in relation to the opening sort of thing. So see if I can show you with it kind of centered about halfway each way. Oh god, this gives me the shits. There's a, I don't know, maybe I need to just measure it, excuse me, but yeah, it's like the glass can sit in there. And when I made my template up for this, I've made it probably a little on the short side, so I need to extend that an amount, so probably about so much. Yeah, probably close to about 10 mil across the top and the bottom, whichever way. So I'm going to do some calculating with my brain and see if I can figure this out, so I know how much to extend that template for my front glass so it fits in the rubber. I'm assuming the rubber kind of principles are the same. I don't really know. I don't see why they would change shit from, you know, front to back too dramatically. It might be slightly different, but I'd say, you know, that you'd have that little bit of kind of overlap between the glass and the pinch weld, if that's what I'm sort of getting at. So that's sort of sitting hard up there. It's just shy there, yeah. So we're looking about splitting the difference all the way around, I guess. Yes, I mean, I've got it sitting right at the bottom there now, and we're sitting just a bit down there, so I'll do some calculating. Okay, so where was I? So that's the top. So I want to go that way. Okay, so got this far, and man, she's proving to be a bit of a struggle. I kind of didn't think about the kind of end zone down there. I possibly should have heated up the rubber first. I may actually take it all back off, see if I can kind of warm it up, make it a little bit more pliable. It goes onto the glass okay, but it's going to be getting this kind of final stretch. I think if you kind of had a bit more stretch starting up here, probably have a better chance of getting it on down here, sort of thing. So, but yeah, kind of getting it started and getting that stretch going at the beginning part. I'm not really sure how to go about that, but yeah, so I might persevere for a little bit, and then if that doesn't work, we'll be trying to put some heat into it, you know, onto the rubber just to warm it up. It's not actually that warm. It's kind of sunny and everything outside, but it's not that warm today, so the rubber is probably a little on the cold side. Yeah, so carry on. Okay, so managed to flip it over to the rubber to the underside of the glass, but yeah, that last stretch is kind of, she's intense, man. Even with a little bit of leverage, it's just like I'm worried I'm going to put too much on it and break the glass or the rubber. So I might, as much as I hate to back pedal, I'm going to pull all this off. And I just had a feel of the roof of the truck there, and it's quite warm on the roof of the truck, so I'm going to lay this on the roof of the truck for a bit and then maybe go and have some lunch. So yeah, back pedal. There's probably a trick to this that I just don't know about. I did some YouTubing this morning and found a dude a couple of years ago did a similar thing, and it fought him all the way as well. So I guess that's part of the course. They must have had a good system in the factory, probably had some big stretching device to stretch the rubbers or something like that, I don't know. Okay, so hopefully this is warmed up. It feels nice and warm. It's just whether I can get this thing on there before it cools off. I've got to remember which way it goes now. That way. It turns itself inside out. It's a pain in the ass. Right, I'll just see how we go with this. Okay, update. No further. Okay, so warming up the rubber kind of did seem like it was helping for a very brief period until it cooled down again. And then, yeah, I just got stuck in the same place. I even tried, like, you know, pulling it as I was fitting it to the glass, like stretching it as much as I could, but it just, by the time you kind of get anywhere, it's pulling itself back, like just retracting. It's hard on the hands, let me tell you. So I don't really know how I'm going to overcome this particular hurdle. I will keep at it. I even tried leverage, but yeah, using a little block of wood. I don't want to use anything metal or levering off the glass, but I haven't got anything else kind of strong enough but thin enough that I can kind of lever. You know, you can actually get it to go all the way over and it will fit. Like, there's no denying that. Once, if it can get the glass into the channel that it's got to sit in, it will fit. But it's just getting it on there to get it to fit is a mission. But yeah, I'll just carry on and that, you know, keep trying. Okay, so you're probably wondering what this idiot's doing now. I've tried everything to try and get this thing on this glass, so I'm just seeing if I can do a little bit of a stretch on this rubber just to kind of get me over that last hurdle, getting it on the last corner. So I've hung some gazebo weights, sandbags off it, run some heat up and down it. I measured it with 2 bags on, so I'll take that 3rd bag off again and do a quick measure. And it had increased in length by 20 millimeters, so just under an inch, 3/4 of an inch or so overall, and with 2 bags on. So I took 3 on there, give it some more heat and see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't make it all baggy and useless, but I'm hoping once it kind of cools down and whatnot, it can shrink up a little bit. But I'm wondering whether to kind of rip it all off now and just try and put it on while it's actually still quite warm and stretched, and yeah, see how we go, or whether to let it cool and hopefully I get a kind of little permanent stretch in it. But I don't know, I'll take this bag off and give it a measure. It's about 30-35 millimeters, so we'll give it a shot, eh? Oh, okay. Got nowhere. So by the time you kind of get it going, it all cools off and shrinks back, and yeah, just the only thing that stays heated up is me. My temperature's rising, something terrible. Getting very frustrated, to be quite frank. Try not to use swear words. So it's a family show. There must be a way. There must be a way. This is just tearing up my hands. I have problems with cramps and stuff in my hands from time to time, and this is bringing it on, I tell you. Hey. Oh, I'm just gonna keep trying or break this windscreen, one of the two. Hey guys, so that's as far as I can get it. Like, it just gets that far, and it's like to pull that's like super tight. It just doesn't want to go. Like, it's like if you really wrench on it, you can get it back almost to there, and it will maybe sometimes flip over the underside. So that's what makes me think if you could get it on, it would fit. It would be super tight, but it would fit. But it's just getting it on. Any kind of leverage you use, you kind of run the risk of, you end up with it too far away, and it won't drop into the channel because the channel gets all pinched up and squeezed up, and you just can't get it in there. I hate to admit defeat, man, but I think this thing has got me beat. I've been at this for close to 5 hours, and that's as far as I've got. My fingers and stuff are like sore now from just trying to pull this over and feed it in and all that kind of stuff, and it's a punisher. I'm so gutted. I thought this would be the kind of easy one, get this on. The hard part would be getting the trim into it and getting it up into the the hard part, actually installing it in the car. That might be to come yet. I honestly don't know. I've even considered, have I got this rubber in the wrong way? Am I doing it wrong? But I mean, I don't think so. I mean, that bit there does seem a little bit on the small side to be all that kind of holds it into the pinch weld. I think it's right. I can't figure out any other way that it could go. Because this slit here is for this trim here, slots down into it, and yeah, it has like a little kind of little bend over there, which then can get in under that lip there. So it appears to be right. But yeah, it just will not come over that extra little bit. Try heating it up, cooling it down, stretching it, kicking things around. I just had a tantrum before and tripped over that extension lead. Gave it a bit of van up the arse. Stupid heat gun, stupid extension lead, stupid window, stupid car, stupid me. At this point I'm thinking, can I glue it in? Like a newer kind of car. I'm frickin' tempted, if you know what I'm saying. I'm thinking, can I cut this up into some way that still looks like the rubber from the outside, but urethane it in, Not really ideal, but I don't know. Unless it's, I don't know if this is Steel Rubber Products window rubber. I don't know what it is. It was like the front and rear windscreen and all the rubber stuff were just loose. They weren't bagged or anything, so honestly don't know what brand they are. They could be cheap eBay ones, or they could be Steel Rubber Products ones. They could be cat's whiskers. I honestly don't know. I know when we went and looked at the car before we bought it, the front and rear rubbers were just kind of like hanging from the rafters in the garage, and they had been there for like 7 or 8 years. So, and I've had it 5, so I mean these rubbers are 13, 14 years old in New Zealand, in storage and hanging from rafters and shit. So, don't know, they don't feel brittle, they still feel very rubbery, but they're just, pardon me, it's just too short. Too short just by a scotch. And unless there's some trick, everything I've seen, it's just people like pull them over, tape around them, and then Bob's your auntie, and it's on there sort of thing. Whereas I have tried that. It just, every time you start really having to lean into it to kind of pull them over, try and pull it on, it just comes off somewhere else. I have tried doing it with the screen up the other way. I have tried kind of getting my finish point here, but you just end up basically getting to about here on the long length, and this bit here just sits in there. You just can't get it over. As soon as you try to stretch part of it over, it ends up just peeling back down the sides. I've tried, like I say, heating it. I've had it twice out in the sun for a bit. It's not a lot of heat. There's a bit of heat on the top of the truck. It's not the best, really, but it's just, I'm stuck, man. Sound like a whinger now, but I'm frustrated, so frustrated. Okay, but I'm going to leave this rigged up overnight and just see if I can get some stretch out of this thing, just to, hopefully get me somewhere. But yeah, if that doesn't work, I honestly don't know what to do. I'm seriously, like, if I cut it to get it around the perimeter of the glass, the fit is so tight that it would end up with a sizable gap that I'd never be able to close up again. So I can't cut it, like, snip it in half or break the joint in it. So yeah, the other option is, do I send away for another rubber and hope it's better, or send away all the way to the States? By the time I get it here, I have no idea what it would cost to get one landed here. Will that just end up being an expensive, buy the same thing twice? I mean, I already have bought that rubber when I bought the car. I didn't individually, separately buy it, but it was part of the deal, that was part of the cream on the deal, was getting all of this new stuff like the nut and bolt kit, which turned out to be 70% okay, 30% freaking useless. The carpet, I don't think is going to be usable. The rubbers that have come with it, some of it's all good. There's the neighbour's cat in here going for a turd in our cat's litter box. Freaking thing. Yeah, so it's kind of, like all of this aftermarket stuff, man, it's just kicking my ass. And because I don't have the original rubbers, it's again a kind of downside of buying someone else's stalled project. They pulled it apart, threw everything away that they replaced, so I like to hang on to everything until it is done, so if I buy an aftermarket part, I can kind of get a good gauge on whether it's the right thing, or how it's all going to work and stuff like that. So I've got no original windshield rubber to kind of compare it to and see, if there's something different, or if I'm doing something wrong or whatever. I might do a bit of interneting tonight and see if I can find something that shows me the profile of the rubber, make sure I've got the right thing. like I say, though, if I could get it on that glass, I think it'll work. It's just so tight. But we'll see. We'll leave that hanging out there. I might throw some heat on it since I've still got the heat gun out, and see if I can sort of stretch it a bit. And yeah, so, but what I have got, something, these pieces here, I just noticed when I kind of pulled them out, don't think I've got the little joiners that go on, and the ends are going to need a little straightening out. They're a bit hookery. That one there's had a bit of screwdrivering by the look of things, and it's got a stab mark in it, so might do a bit of panel beating on those and see if I can bring them back around, maybe give them a little bit of a polish and make me feel like I've actually achieved something today. Okay, so I just spent about 5 minutes on the heat gun on the old rubber. And yeah, and it did drop a bit on that, so I cranked it up on this rinky dink tie down and just put a bit more tension on it, and I've actually chucked a little bit more weight on it. At this point, if it breaks, I don't care. Yeah, so I got that. I'm not gonna try and weld it up or anything like that. I'm just gonna like knock it down, flush it out a little bit. And some of this is a bit knocked around. So make me a little anvil and see about doing something with that. Yeah, that'll do. Just kind of knocked it flush. So that'll do for now. That's actually about all I have to do to those. I might just get a rag and give them a bit of a polish, but I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be like a jointing cap on both of those, and I have hunted high and low for them in the past, I think, and all of the stuff that came with this cart, and I don't think I've got them. Wouldn't be crazy hard to make, but I'd kind of need some thin gauge stainless to kind of cut and fart around with trying to make, but which I haven't got. I don't think. I have got the old door trim. Could maybe make something out of that. Yeah, but I'll give these a polish anyway. 4-cylinder automatics with big bore exhausts just sound kind of rude, I reckon. And worse than it. It's a bit better when they're ringing it out, but still. Sounds almost as bad as a uncammed small block Chev, like in the truck. Not bad. They're not great. They're not terrible. I'll give the insides a bit of a clean as well. It might make them easier to go into the rubber if I ever get them to the rubber on the glass, you know. If the rubber doesn't work, these may not even go on if I glue it in. Who knows? Alright, I'll get these polished up and then we'll be back. Just using a little bit of a little weeny wire brush as well to get the gritty stuff off on the inside. Not worried about minor scratches on the surface on the inside here because it doesn't see it. I just want to kind of get them cleanish. So, you know, hopefully when I install it in the rubber, like I said earlier, it goes in a little bit easier, you know. Anywho, I'll be back. Alright, so finished giving them a bit of a polish up. They actually didn't come up too bad. Like, I mean, they've got like a ton of scratches and stuff all over them, but you know, like it is what it is. So when people say things like, "Oh, you ruined a good car," it wasn't a good car when I got this. Oh, don't lose that. That's my centre bar for front windscreen, so that's even got dents and stuff in it. But I'll have a quick look in here, because there was, it's kind of where all the stainless stuff was in this box, which is what I think those door spares came from. They were in there. Was a kind of box with a bunch of little stuff in as well. It's got overspray all over it. Epoxy primer overspray. These these got around the front. Anything else in there? Nah. Let's have a look. So that's the door spare, which was the original one, which we talked about before. That. I have no idea what that's for. Oh, that might be. Oh, that'd be one of the garnish mouldings. I knew there was one missing on there. Man, that's pretty beat up too. Right rear interior. See, I've already written on it. We've got some little bits. So we've got little corner bits, I think they're for the front, and I think they're for the front. That might be for the front centre post. Yeah, so I've got none of the little caps. I know there's a little cap missing for the front that actually joins those two as well. It goes at the bottom of that centre bar, but or is there? Or does that go down over the top? I don't know which way it goes. Something like that. There should be one for the inside too. I don't know. But yeah, so missing stuff, like little, probably nigh on impossible to get stuff, like unless you had a donor car that had some of that stuff available. Yeah, a mate of mine had a donor car locally too. He asked me if there was anything wanted off it. I said, nah, I'm all good. Everything came with my car, but it didn't. So, oh well, I'll bag all that stuff up and put it away again. And yeah, nothing much I can do with that. There is another box at the back I can have a mooch through. Okay, so just waiting for the local wolves. Oh, fuck. No, I like dogs. I just don't like them when they yap all the time like that. Fucking dogs. Anyway, I was going through, I remembered I had some of the other trim that I didn't end up using, and this is a piece that goes on the door trim. So this was the passenger door trim. As you can see, it's had a bit of a whoopty-woo. But looking at this, I should be able to make joiners out of this, like basically just cutting it into lengths that I need, and I reckon that'll slide down inside it. So I'm not going to do it today though. I reckon that's a win. I reckon we finally had a win today. So be able to make my little joiner things for that, and that'll work for the top front windscreen stuff as well, if I remember. You know, there's another little joiner that'll go right in the centre at the top there with the two bits of trim that go around that. But yeah, so I've had enough for today. Get some feeling back in the old digits. Jump pack charged. Yep. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see tomorrow if that hasn't snapped. We'll have another crack at trying to get it on the glass. And then see where we go from there. But I've got to go out in the morning and do a couple of things, so it'll be a kind of, get back from doing that. I wasn't planning on working on the Area 51 tomorrow. I thought I would have this back glass in today, but no, I have actually virtually achieved nothing other than polish that trim and hurt my hands and stuff. So till tomorrow, see you then. Hey guys, so next day, I had that like hanging there all night. I really don't think it's going to work, but we'll give it a try anyway and see if we can get a bit of stretch out of it. I did a bit of interneting last night and found on the Steel Rubber site, and according to all of the Facebook pages and forums, Steel Rubber is the brand to get. I have no idea what brand of window rubber that is. The door stuff that I got with the car was Steel Rubber. I think I might have mentioned it earlier. But yeah, so I'm going to take this down and have another crack at it. So wish me luck. What I was actually meant to say was, looking on the Steel Rubber website, had a measurement of 103 inches, which I'm assuming is the loop around the outside. And so yeah, like I run a measure on this before, and that is 36 plus 12, so that's 48. So that would be 48 inches times 2. Oh my god. It's still only got 90 something inches, but yeah, so sure, got it that time. Tape, where's my tape at? Okay, we're back to where we started. It didn't stretch it at all. Again, it's winter here, or kind of late autumn. I guess it's winter. So you know, the rubber's a bit kind of stiff. So I got another idea. I seen a post on a forum. I was waiting outside a shop this morning for it to open, and I'm just on the phone, you know, on the device, and I saw a post where someone was having a similar kind of issue, and their glass guy had said put the rubber in the clothes dryer for about 45 minutes. So I might try it. I got nothing to lose at this point other than my clothes dryer catching fire. We hardly ever use it anyway, so I'll give it a whirl. I'll try it for a little bit longer, and then I'll give it a whirl. Okay, so got that in the clothes dryer. We're going to put up with that for a little bit, but she's a bit squeaky. That thing is as old as the hills, that clothes dryer, but I'll give it a shot. While I'm waiting, I might have a look at making up these joiners for this. Start off with a little bit of a polish, the bit that I'm going to cut out. And just clean up alright. Be alright for, you know, the piece of going into. You've got to figure out how big I kind of need to make them, I guess. I'm going to cut the end off and cut one, I guess, and see how well it works. Just square a line there, cut there. Now, I'm looking at these pieces. There's a few witness marks there with about, I don't know, 8mm on either side on both pieces, so that would make my join maybe about 16, provided they have no gap, but I suspect there probably is a gap, so I'm going to start off, cut a piece at 25mm and see whether that's good. You can always make them smaller, can't make them bigger, unless I cut new ones. 20, might go 25 just to give me a bit of wiggly room. There we go. Okay, so that worked so far pretty well. Now we just have to see whether it's going to fit. Check it out. So they fit over there fine. They're a little bit on the big side though. So they don't quite know how I overcome that. I'm trying to refold it. Refold it. How can I hook it around, fold it around? Tricky. Well, give it a try. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, so they say. And what I'm planning on is just slicing that little return off and then seeing if I can fold it again right about there where the corner of that broken file is. Somehow, maybe. Give it a try. I just need to kind of get that return out the way. Put some Sharpie inside there, like that. See? Like that. And then I'll get that, slide that on there like so. I'll use this, which is just a pick, to scribe down there. And we'll see if we can bend that over on that scribe line somehow. I'll try it on here. I don't know whether this will be accurate enough, but give it a shot. Let's get it started, you know. Yeah. I think it's kind of bent it too far back, but we'll have a look. Give it a shot. It might work if I can just gently hammer that down. Alrighty, so that actually I think will work. I mean, you know, at a glance it's just a stainless jointer on there, so be maybe a little more accurate. I don't have an original one to copy off, so I'm assuming that this is the type of thing that was on there, but that, if that works, if I can get the rubber on, I'll be happy enough with that. I'll set about getting number 2 made, and by then hopefully our rubber has warmed up a bit. There we go, still about half an hour to go. A bit of a heat there. Okay, so I made 3. I think I only need 1 more for the back glass, but I think I need 1 at least for the front glass, so I thought might as well just make some spares. So yeah, they're all ready to go. I'll bag up my spare ones and put them with the other stainless stuff and put all my tools and that away, and by then that, if it hasn't melted into a little rubbery puddle inside there, should be ready to give it a crack on the glass, hopefully. You have no idea how ecstatic I am right now. Like, I'm sweating like a sweaty thing, and it's like, it's not warm outside, warm in here. Man, that was, I didn't think I was going to get it, but boy, that little bit of aluminium, that thinner bit of leverage. I was trying to find something that was strong but not steel, that I could lever on that corner, and I was thinking this glass is going to break, it's going to break, it's going to break, it's going to crack, it's going to do something. It's just, I got it there, just got it there right on that corner, and it's just keep popping back off, and I'll regroup, get back, and then it would pop off again, and I'll regroup, get back. It's like, she's so close, and you could kind of get it in and underneath, and then it would like fucking like go like that on the top, and then so you can pull it back up the top, and you get it in there, and it go like that on the bottom, and then it just come together, man. The stars aligned, and there it is. That's it. I just got to try not to knock it off. Oh. Now I've got to put the trim in. And I've still got to get it in the hole. Oh god. So got one side on, pretty much, I think. Now this is what I did. I sort of flipped down this channel here that it's got to sit in, and this time round I've actually put a little bit of soap on this bit of trim here, so I've got to get that in there like so, and then kind of slide it right in and try not to knock the rubber off. So get ahead and get that done. Okay, so got the trim on. She was way easier than the rubber, I'll tell you that much. Now this next stage is probably going to be the hard bit. I'm worried about this corner though. It didn't kind of pull back the same way as it had been sitting. Once I kind of flipped that rubber back up, I'm hoping once it kind of the glass gets into situation, it might kind of, you know, the rubber might kind of force it in and make it bed in properly, but it seems to be, the glass is sitting in there, but it's just kind of twisted down a bit with the trim going in. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, she's in. Yeah boy, get rid of the tape. It's filthy, it's all the glues come off the tape that I've been using to prop it up, but I don't care about that at this point. Okay, so just been dusted out, all the dust out of the window channel. I'm going to go and have some lunch. I'm hungry and I don't want to start this being hangry, if you know what I mean. So kind of second guessing do I put any kind of sealant in around there. I just know it could get really, really messy if this install doesn't go right, you know. It's just that, but he's just sitting up. Sorry, distracted squirrel. But yeah, got my string round there, ready to go, and hoping it all goes all good. Yeah, well, that looks a little bit bent. Wonder if I hit that a bit hard with a hammer. Okay, I'll go and have some lunch and then we'll do this. Hey, so had my lunch. Good, thanks. Bit of leftovers from last night's dinner on sandwiches. It's the way to go. Alright, cheese split. I'll just have a look inside. I wonder if I should put some mastic around that outer edge. because it'll be the harder one to kind of reseal if I do have any issues. I just know it'll be messy if I screw this up. Cleanable but messy. Okay, so I used some of that around there. It's a non-hardening windscreen sealant, and I think I'd had just enough to kind of get round there, so let's do it. Alright, get back up on the tripod and see what happens. Okay, so it's mostly in, it's just not in all the way at the top here, so you can see it sitting up on the sides, and the glass itself, like the rubber's sitting down better, but the glass itself is sitting up higher in that middle part. Hands are killing me, like trying to slap it down. Maybe I should have tried to slap it down a bit further at the earlier stages, I'm not sure. But we'll keep persisting, and I'll be back when we're kind of hopefully got it to lay down a bit nicer. If not, I'll probably have pulled it all out again. Okay, little quick update. You've seen what I was just doing there. I've just got these like little suction things, and I'm using my dead blow hammer and hitting those kind of on and I'm pushing down and hitting them on a kind of downward angle to try and push the glass down that way. That side's kind of they're about equal now. This side here was sitting up a bit higher. That's the side I had trouble with the rope or the string. Up under there, the lip, the rubber lip isn't kind of wrapped around as much at that top part as it is on the sides and the bottom. I don't know whether it would be possible to get it the same, but yeah, but you can see it's kind of, the rubber's lifted a bit there. So what I'll do is I'll get some more mastic. Like that rubber could be thicker as well, like it could just be a little bit heavier and a bit thicker, and there's not enough room for the glass and the rubber in the gap. But what I'll do is I'll get some more of that mastic anyway, and I'll do what they did on my Plymouth, and I'll jam the nozzle in there, and I'll run a bead of that non-hardening mastic right around between the rubber and the glass. I haven't got any to do today. Well, haven't got any to do it today, but I will get some. It's a yeah, non-hardening, cleans up with terps or kerosene sort of thing. so you can kind of, once you kind of get a bit of, a bit of sun gets on the car, it actually leaches out a little bit as well, so you kind of, when it's fresh, you go and kind of clean it up every few months sort of thing if it's been in the sun. And my Plymouth was done that way, and I never had any leaks with that, but it was done by professionals, not by me. So a couple of guy that knows what he's doing and is an apprentice kind of did that for us. But yeah, like I say, they're like 7 hours drive south, miles away from here. Otherwise I would have got them to do this, all the glass on this car, but I'll learn some stuff sometimes, so anyway, I'll carry on and I'll get back in touch when I've got it to lay down or I've broken the glass, one of the two. Okay, so I've hammered on that thing as far as I feel safe hammering on it, like even with my little suckery things. I got it to lay down a little bit more in these top two corners. The lip on the inside, the rubber lip on the inside is kind of pretty much there. It's probably not still as much as the bottom and sides, but it should hold in. Like, it's not going to be going that fast. Well, maybe not. But yeah, it's in. What a marathon that was, man. Honestly, this has probably been one of those things that I was so close to just throwing in the towel and sticking my head in the sand and ignoring that windscreen for, the rear windscreen for even a day. I don't know what I was going to do. I was just about done. My hands are killing me, so I couldn't do the slap thing. So these sucker things, I just bought these off Trade Me. They're just like you close that up and it suctions it up. They worked pretty good, as you might have seen in the high speed part of the video. Like, it kept pulling off on one side, strangely enough, and I kept smacking my hand on the parcel tray, so that, again, like hands are sore from this exercise. They're already sore from trying to put the rubber on all day yesterday, and then sore from smacking them on the parcel tray repeatedly and stuff like that. So trying to slap it down was really kind of a no-go, but putting the suckers on and kind of hammering with a dead blow kind of gently seemed to work, seemed to kind of push it down and down and in sort of thing, But yeah, it's in there. Now that it's in there, I can see a little bit of ripply, like from my scratch removal exercise. Now I kind of wondered whether that could happen. I couldn't see it before, but now I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's just not like crystal clear, put it that way. Now, once this car's going, I could take it to a professional and get them to redo it, kind of basically in place, mask off the car, polish and sand and grind and polish and all that kind of stuff while it's in there. Or when I win lotto, which is coming soon, trust me, I'll just buy new glass and new rubber and new trim and stuff and do it all again. Probably pay someone to do it if I won lotto, but now I can say I have done that. I've done one of those. I put a rear windscreen in a 51 Fleetline. It's like, there's probably lots of people who can say they've done that. Now I'm one of them. Yep. Okay, so anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. I thought I would get this done in a day. It's been a day and a half to get this part, not counting the polishing and stuff I did. That was about 3 days and on its own, so it's not bad for a week's work getting one rear windscreen in. God, yeah, and honestly, there's probably about at least 30 hours in just putting that windscreen, getting the windscreen to how it looks now and in. But that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you're still watching after all of this, carry on. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I honestly, like I said before, I didn't think this video was going to have a positive ending. I thought it might be. I'm pretty positive now. I'm positive that the glass is in there, and I've still got to do that bit of mastic, like the I'm going to bead some, tuck it in under the rubber there. I'll do that. I'll put a note on my list of things to do, which I haven't started writing yet. I really should. I think about it all the time, but I never actually do it. But yeah, so that's back glass in, and that I thought would be the easy one. Still got to do the front yet, and that is not in good condition, but like I said yesterday, if I smash it, doesn't really matter. If I have to buy new glass, I may then just send my template off if I get new glass in, I might just kind of get someone who knows what they're doing to cut it. But I want to have a go at cutting it myself, so I'm going to cut the glass that I've got. If it works, then I'll maybe look at polishing that as well, or maybe get that polished by a professional. That would be the smart thing to do. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like, share, comment, share it around to your mates or whatever. Say, look at this clown in New Zealand like trying to put a rear windscreen in when he's never ever done it before, and he's only ever seen it done once, and he manages to do it. So I'm quite chuffed. Don't forget we're on the Instagram, Facebook, just spamming you about new videos, trying to grow the channel and see where it goes, and so I can save up and buy my racetrack like Cletus. Not that I really race cars or anything, but not legally. And yeah, till next time, take it easy and peace.